Hello, good afternoon from sunny Spain. Yes, we've got blue skies again today, so I'm very happy again. So before I invite Lesley, because she's just putting her lipstick on, you know what, I've just put mine on, so let's see what happens, because last week with Anna Marie it didn't work. But if it doesn't work, we're going to talk via Messenger. So before, I'd like us to just relax and just take some deep breaths. And just be aware of body, mind and spirit. Remember the spirit, your divine self that is part of you, invisible, has always been with you. In between everything you are, in between each cell, each skin cell, that holds us all together. And is connected to everything out there. So, I am just typing in Lesley's name to invite her. Don't know what to say about the technology these days, but we're going with everything. So Lesley, when you are watching this, I can invite you. While we are just breathing and relaxing and feeling the part of us that connects us to all of life. We can be open, we can imagine our hearts opening like a lotus flower. And just feeling out there. Okay, I can see Tom's watching, but I can't see that Lesley's watching. Yes, Lesley. So I'm going to add Lesley. They'll receive an invitation, so I'm going to add you. Accept the invitation. It could be in notifications. Yes.
I tell you what didn't work before, Barbara, because you have to press go live.
Yes, I did.
No, I meant me.
Oh, you?
Yes, to come into you.
Hey, I love it.
All
It's
right,
working.
so we've sorted that one, girl, so you're fine.
Okay, so you have to press go live.
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome to this sacred space that I've created at this time every week, just for people to come and breathe and relax and tune in to that part of them, that divine part, spirit that connects us with all life. Now you, spiritual medium, may I call you that?
You can call me what you like. We've known each other for
No, it doesn't matter, does it?
We've known each other for 10
Names.
years, haven't we? So
Yes, when I was living up in Mazaron and I met you 10 years ago, a decade ago, I can't believe it.
Yes, Do you
And
remember that we always used to meet up on a triple date, such as 11-11-11 or 12-12-12,
that's
to
right.
give
Yeah.
healing to the earth and its inhabitants? And I
Yes.
vividly remember us all holding hands, and I put a big pyramid in the center, and we gave out the wonderful healing for the earth and its inhabitants. And we all started to sway with the sound, and it
I remember.
reverberated all around us. And as I opened my eyes, I saw a beautiful light come up from the pyramid within the circle to the heavens, and I knew we'd been answered. That was such a moment,
Mm.
such a moment.
Oh, yeah, I think for all of us, we remember that, just the feeling. And when we together, more people together, we create such a like a powerhouse.
Hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, it is. It is.
Huh?
Yes, I've found that
Yes.
with connecting now all around the world with the on group, which we can talk about later,
Mm.
that is really resonating through 5 different countries now. So
Yeah, wonderful. Your bridging circle. This
yeah,
is where your main focus is now,
it
isn't it?
is. Although I've just
Yeah.
said goodbye today to my editor who came along. She doesn't like to be called my editor because we've been together for so long, and we're
Mm.
friends more than anything other than. She would come to type a piece, and she'll suddenly say now, after all these years, Spirit won't let me type that. She says they want to
Mm.
put it in a different way. She'd bounce it back to
So,
me, and then I would find another way of saying it. So,
so she's working with her spirit as well.
yes and no, because she came into this as a good little Catholic girl who only believed in a certain spiritual way. But as we've worked together for so long, and we're in our 5th book, so we've already published 4, and this one is going to take so long, and we've realised now that this particular one that we're doing at the present is encompassing the group and everything. So we're going to take our
Mm.
time on this last one. This is going to be such a big, thick book because
Oh, wow.
instead of being a trilogy, we're going to pile it all into the one book and bringing
Okay.
in light language in it, which I'll talk to you about that
Okay,
in a
so
while too.
let's just go back a little bit.
Okay,
We'll rewind the years, and you started by writing your first book in, was it 99?
1997.
Oh, 97, you wrote
Yeah.
it and published it
All right.
just
Well,
when I first met you.
yes, that's right. About 10 years ago.
You were self-publishing.
Yes.
And this was all about how you became aware that you were, yeah, you heard spirit voice.
Well, I'd also been born with it. I think everybody has an
Mm-hmm.
imaginary friend, and that's how I
Mm.
started at the age of 6. Then, of course, when
Okay.
my sister came along, I didn't need my imaginary friend anymore as such.
Mm.
But I used to go to my grandmother's house. Funny enough, we were talking about this yesterday, my editor and I, and we were saying that my grandmother's the only one I could open up to, and she would always
Mm.
say to me, "Now, what would your imaginary friend like today?" Or she'd get to know the
Mm.
name of it, and she would put some food down for that little
Mm-hmm.
imaginary friend as such. And as the years have gone on, it's come in and gone out, come in and gone out at different stages of my life.
So it's about trusting,
Oh yeah,
isn't it?
yes, most definitely.
It's like, yes, it's real.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Because everything does begin with imagination.
Hmm.
Everything, huh? And yet, when after the child, when we've grown up a little, we don't teach them anymore, huh, to keep that
Yeah.
imagination
I
going.
think it's changing, Barbara, because I really feel since the millennium and since just before the millennium started with the 2000s, that adults, which are indigo parents, that's another subject altogether, bringing up crystal children. And those crystal
Mm.
children are now developing into further spiritual forms, if you like. And anybody
Mm.
who believes in life after life after life, the universal law is that we are a free will planet. We were seeded, again, it comes from a different area. And basically, we are of the knowing. we understand there's something there we want to share, but we have to find somebody we can share it with.
Exactly. Yes, and that's when, so I was delighted when I met you and Anna Marie and other people that shared this. There is so much more than this body, you know, and my mind that is always complaining.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And that's what I mean, 10 years now, you've developed, or not developed, you've expanded your work from
I've had to.
you're on your fifth book.
I've really had to, because the Earth itself doesn't just sit there in space. It's actually moving. And as you know, I like to do astronomy and cosmology. And I try and keep in with what's going on at the moment with the astrology and cosmologists, simply because I'm now finding that, especially with this last book, I want to put facts out there so that people can find out for themselves that, you know, for instance, we've had this big scare with Nibiru and the Planet X that's coming into the system. And really and truly, if you cast your mind back, 12th of the 12th of the 12th, the Mayans believed that we were going to be annihilated. And it never happened. If you remember, we had a little get together and we all said, "Oh, we're still here." You know?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I know.
This is all 12th of the 12th of the 12th. Even it was even midday, or it was midday. And we said, "We're still here. We're still here." The same is happening with this fear factor of the planetary guidance that's coming in. Yes, there is. It's there on the perimeter of all our planetary orbiting planets, but it's only sending a rippling effect in to our Earth. And basically that is why Gaia itself and us, as a living people of Gaia, are actually moving along with her in the dimensional shift. So the dimension, we are 3D dimensional beings, but because we're more enlightened now, we're going towards the fourth, the fifth.
Well, we're opening our consciousness, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're allowing. So basically what the Mayans were talking about was a shift in consciousness, not an end of a time, but an end of the old ways of doing, being human and in competition with everybody. So people like yourself and me, we're just sharing with others the other possibilities of cooperating together.
And also giving people an aim in life. Because I mean, a hypothesis here, if we were to say that this Nibiru was going to collide with Earth, or it was going to collide even with one of our orbiting planets, it would send the wrong rippling effect out, as it did for 12, 12, 12. And that fear grows faster than, you know, those sort of feelings that are mutually a loving kind of feeling. Because, yes, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because at our core essence, everybody, we are love. A consciousness that links us all together.
Yes, but also the star beings that are coming into our new group. I formed this group called Starseed Sisters. Simply, I mean, men are allowed to come in too, but we call them our superheroes. rather
they're probably a little bit scared.
Yes, well, you know, we can be quite forceful, I think, as women at times. But and it's a gentle quality that comes in too. But the star beings, they know what traumas that we are all going to go through with this shift that's happening. And they want to help, really. If you cast your mind back to the Atlantean period, my hypothesis, which I feel from others, they've also came in with a similar approach, that ET seeded Earth at the time of the Atlanteans, and the Atlanteans are the forefathers of the Egyptians, and then we go on from, you know, as mankind has grown with their consciousness.
Yeah, we've evolved till now, but this is the next step, isn't it? The consciousness shift.
Exactly.
Where we perceive basically everything that's been kept unveiled.
Yeah.
So that's the contact with spirit.
Yes, it is.
Off-world.
Well, you never lose your original guiding forces. The way I usually put it over to newbies in the group, and they're all welcome, by the way. Now that we're going all the way around the world, I've put one member in charge in the group to bring in the newbies. For instance, there's one lady that's in charge of the United States. So she will deal with any newbies coming in the United States. Another lady that's in India, she's bringing in the Asian countries.
Okay, just let me stop you there, because these newbies, let's explain to where is this coming from? Why might they want to join you?
Okay.
They are curious?
A little bit more than curiousness, because I've found it's people that are already mediums, already doing readings. They're already wanting to, they're feeling different in themselves. They want to express themselves in a different way. So our groups are more like transfiguration.
Okay.
And what we call automatic writing, which is the written channeled scripts from the spiritual entities. But this is a way of allowing your guiding lights to make themselves known to you as a working worker, you know, a light worker as such.
Yeah.
So it's one step further on. It's not newbies where they want to know whether they can give readings to.
Oh, okay. I thought you had two groups, though.
We started off with two groups, Barbara, but now that there's more qualified people coming in with drawings, basically, and scripted work, and we know it's so important because the world is going through a little bit of a trauma at the moment, that we would be hindered by the younger group coming in that way. I mean, they're still young people, but they're already in the know and want to expand their knowledge, if you like. But it's not.
So if anybody wants to join your bridging circle, they have to just get in touch with you.
Yes, a personal message to me.
So it's basically a group of people who are channeling or connecting with off-world beings and bringing more or new information, the latest information.
That's the point.
To humanity.
That's the point, yes.
Just bringing in more awareness in this way.
Yes, because their guiding lights are able to make themselves known and give us guidance. Because when we were seeded way back then, where in the Atlantean period, you know, that period of time, then we were made the only planetary existence for free will. So they're not allowed to intervene, but they can intervene through the guiding lights, through to us persons that are, you know, sort of attuned for that.
Yeah, if we want more information.
Exactly. And again, it's free will. You're not forced to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want it as a teaching group. I want it to be a discussion group as well as, you know, because it's frightening. Nice. It's also frightening for some mediums. They feel that the whole of their body is being put on one side and only the voice box is being used. I sort of, with my guiding lights, they can listen in on the conversation that's being held. So afterwards, I can actually explain to them which quadrant of the sky to look at for them, whether they are of a like-minded race that are trying to attach themselves to you, because there are some scary ones out there too.
Oh, well, yeah, there's scary people here, so why not there?
Exactly right. Yeah. So we think we've got it more or less, as I say, Susie and I are a co-founder, and I'm the founder, and Susie James is the co-founder, and we are, nothing gets signed off unless we sign it off, either with e-magazines or YouTube. So just the two of us. But we also are going to be in charge of the European countries. So Spain, England, Norway. We're already in touch with Norway. So so that we've got it all the way around the world.
Yeah, lovely.
So there's people coming in from Australia too, but because there's 11 hours difference between the UK and Sydney, for instance, then I needed somebody close to their time zone. So Zinat, who is in India, is quite close to their time zone, 5 hours difference. So she can bring them in, and then when it's plausible to have another group. So we have 2 a week. We can make it a weekend and bring in those from Australia and that have got a big time zone difference. But at least this way, everybody around the world can speak to somebody that is like-minded.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's wonderful. We're all doing our own little bits, huh? All different.
Hopefully, you know, and we've just had to have a new reconstruction. So the reconstruction has just brought this all to light, and everybody's pulling together now. We had a little bit of disbandment last week, but we're all over it, and we're all really strong now together. And when we're personally speaking, Barbara, I'll tell you about it. It's not for airing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So just to give a very quick
no.
On the books part of it all, A Diary Through Spirit is the first book. I've got one here. Yeah. So there's the first book. And can you see all the papers all in the that I've put in the pages? That's for when people are not quite sure what they want, what vein they want to do, and I plough into that one. And then A Diary Through Spirit intellectually is where the cosmos started to open up towards the end of this book. And then that comes to my favourite, which is A Diary Through Spirit, Masters to Masters. Now I have a link which can take you straight through to the ebook page, which is there on Amazon. So again, if anybody wants that link, it saves you trying to find me and those books.
Yeah, I'll put your website. It's on your website.
Yeah, it's on my website, but it's better to PM me because then I can send out the direct link. And I've even got a little video that I can send to people with. It sort of tells you how about the books, but at the end there is a personal message,
like
from
a little introduction.
Yeah, but it's also got a channeled message at the end, so that makes that easy to do. I took a break from the 3 books to produce that one, and it's a pets book. Now, that was done purely because I lost my cat and my dear friend Gail lost her Galgo at the same time. So that little pocket book is to help anyone that's grieving over their pets.
Grieving over the pets. Yeah. Lovely.
So in there's a narrated meditation in there. But also anyone who wanted to sort of go into the group, I send out to every single member a spoken meditation so that it'll help them when they come into our group as a subgroup. Because if, you know, I get a message from one of those that are overseeing the different countries and they see that someone is of that caliber, they don't mind their voice box being used and they don't mind going into the transfiguration side of it all, then they will bring them into a main group, and it's those sub-main groups that will be doing all the hard work as such.
Oh,
so
yeah, wonderful.
So they all get this spoken meditation, but I also do it in the group. That's how I bring everybody in this deep meditation. So basically, that's, you know, how it all started. Was in one of my books. I've got hieroglyphics in there, and I think it's in this one. I'm not sure whether it's Masters to Masters or the intellectual one. It's very informative, but one of the books, I'm not sure whether it's intellectual or the Masters to Masters, has got some hieroglyphics, which started me off asking people if they were also getting that kind of information.
So if you just, hieroglyphics is the ancient language, isn't it? When they used to draw symbols.
That's correct. Well, I've now been informed it's light language.
Light, yes.
Now,
and many more people are getting these now, aren't they?
Yes, and full pictures too, that we've been deciphering. But there's a message there which we're trying to decipher. So I've thrown it out to the whole world to get in touch with us and give us an attachment of their pictures. So when we've got them all together, we can see common denominators of the pictures, basically.
So it's like the crop circles on the lamps are now they're being channeled now
Yes.
through each person.
That's
Yes, so
correct.
if
Now,
anybody out there is getting channeled,
yes,
you can send it to Lesley, and she is in this group deciphering all this language.
yes, yes. I mean, if you go back to crop circles, 30 years ago, we sent a craft out with a binary system, and it went out with sound waves, like digital sound waves. 30 years later, we got a
Okay.
message back from a star quadrant, and they put it in a crop circle. So
Oh, wow.
they put the actual message that we binary systemed out in a crop circle, and beside it, and would you believe, I think, if I'm right in saying, it was near Jodrell Bank, which is our sound telescope in the UK.
Okay.
But the side of it, they put their own binary system, their own DNA hieroglyphic,
Oh, yeah.
all in it. Now that can be found.
So it's this passion. This passion has just driven you the last how many years? 30, 40 years?
Yes. But
Wonderful.
it's
So
not ending either.
It's no, because we're regenerating.
Well, hopefully.
This is where I'm focusing.
Yeah, hopefully.
Here on Earth, focusing, and if we allow these light codes to actually, regenerate all the cells, the DNA is being changed and causing lots of pain and old patterns to come up. But anyway, we're running out of time. So
can I just end with E.T. put the DNA there in the first place, but it was 4 different factions of E.T. Right now, one or two of the factions were the reptilian race, which is depicted in the Egyptian hieroglyphics. So therefore, when you pass over now to spirit world, they have changed the universal law so that they put those that are not needed to be reseeded back to Earth with a new lifetime will be reseeded to another dimension.
Interesting. Huh?
And we'll carry on from there on another one when we do it.
So you're going to lead us out with a little, not a meditation, but maybe a message? Can you quickly tune in?
I can tune in. Let me just tune in for a few minutes.
Oof, I feel it strong.
Welcome, dear friends. We are indeed from the Galactic Federation and Federation of Light. We would like to take this moment with you to pass on greetings to all those around your little blue planet. We also are indeed watching over you at all times, with your entrepreneurs that go out into space, as you are now providing the special crafts to do so. We know that you have cosmology at your fingertips. We know that you have learned colleagues of a spiritual nature. We also know that some of those spiritual-minded people who just recently you have lost one to spirit, of a wonderful, wonderful mind, when the physical body was ailing him so well. We are indeed very pleased that he is here on the spiritual realm, the spiritual side of life, to help you humanoids there on your wonderful planet, Gaia, as we take our leave from you with love, blessings, and purification of your ozone layers. Bye.
Oh, how wonderful, Lesley. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have to have a big glass of water.
Wonderful.
As I say to all those in group,
Yeah.
you have a big glass of water, cut the tie, because otherwise it's with you for weeks.
But I felt that. Such big, ginormous energy. Yeah. wonderful.
I
Well,
feel
thanks
it.
so much for
I feel it
talking.
around the face too, Barbara, because this is why I
Mm.
use the group with recordings and put it up on YouTube. But unfortunately, we've lost that. We've lost the person that was doing that for us. So we're going to have to find a way of putting those
Yeah, I could
YouTubes
see
out.
your face changing.
Yeah, yeah, and
I
you
saw your face changing,
would see that in group too.
and my heart was going boom, boom.
Good. Good. My pleasure.
Okay, well, thanks so much. We'll do this again.
I'm sure we
Catch up
will.
with what you're doing.
Yes, I'm sure we
Yes.
will. If
Okay.
anyone needs, I will put my email out, my business email out, so that people can get in on there if they wish.
Yes, you can put it under the comments under this live video,
Okay.
and you
It
can share
is.
this into your Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can do it after the show.
Oh, all right then. I haven't got to do it now. That's fine.
After the show,
Okay. I
we're
didn't.
going. Hello.
Oh, I love you to bits. Brilliant.
Oh, we have to have fun and have playtime.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I could say we're a long time dead,
Yes.
but we're not.
No, but we have to keep that joy, that love
We
feeling
do.
going, because that keeps our vibration high, that we can connect everywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, big kiss to Lesley, and I hope everybody enjoyed today. They can listen in afterwards. And you can share this on your Facebook page as well, Lesley.
I will.
Then it's there forever. If you pin it
when,
top.
when I find out how to do it, I'll do it.
Okay, it's very easy. Just share.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will do.
Much love.
And you, my darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye.